Hi, I'm Anurag.
And I'm Rohan.
Welcome to The Long Take. This week, we're discussing the new Indian movie called Stolen, which premiered back in Venice an year and a half ago, and finally on Amazon Prime. It's a debut feature for Karan Tejpal and stars Abhishek Banerjee in the lead. There's a lot in the movie, like events-wise, thematic-wise, but I want to actually sort of start on like on one of the final shots, I think, where Gautam, which apparently the character is like looking at Jhumpa and her kid, which is like not ending I expected. I didn't think this movie could have a happy ending.
Oh, I was sure that it's going to have a happy ending because
Okay.
why else would you go out of your way to make your protagonist so terrible unless you're going to a
Redemption.
yeah, like, and then not even like a like gradual redemption arc. मतलब वो end के 10 मिनट में एकदम about turn हो जाता है as like core personality of his changes. So
So,
it has a lot of those like writing issues. The movie, I mean, I liked it quite a bit.
hmm.
It's a well-made movie, but the writing is, you can tell that it needs like, at least 3 more drafts.
Hmm. So you didn't buy the redemption arc at all.
I mean, I bought the redemption arc because I knew that it was going to come. It's not like it was done gracefully.
Hmm.
It's two-dimensional, right? The character. It's not like when he's terrible, and when he's like a angel, he's an angel. It's not like he doesn't like grapple with any like, obviously you're going to save your brother, right? If he's being chased by goons.
Hmm.
So that's not like complex.
Yeah.
And him being so selfish in the face of, I mean, even a person who's in a hurry and has to go somewhere, if they
Hmm.
witness some child being kidnapped and they're directly linked to it, they will be like, of course, I'm in a hurry, but this takes priority right now.
I mean,
But
I
he
bought
is,
the Delhi का लौंडा, like I just want to get out of here. ये लो पैसे लो, तुम solve करो, मैं जा रहा हूँ thing in the beginning. That
hmm,
was fine for me. It is definitely rush the arc, but for me at least like it happened in like two stages. Like the first stage was like when they just abandon the car and they start walking out, Jhumpa and like Raman, and then they reveal that the Raman, why has Raman attached this because of his
yeah.
own personal loss with his own
Hmm.
daughter or whatever. So that was like first step for like the Gotham was like sure, like he knew that, but like he was not behaving like that. So then that was like the first reveal, and then second one is like what you just mentioned, like people after them. Your brother's been shot. He's just trying to save him. So now, and finally, you feel like he gets to the hospital and he like he just like comes across randomly, and he's like, okay, maybe I can do something.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is
He
definitely like
also
rushed. That's true.
Yeah, but he also gets like nearly beaten to death before the hospital stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if anything's going to knock sense into you, is that. And then there is
So it
also,
knocks sense, but I could have
uh,
believed the other version of it as well. That he would actually enter more of a self-preservation mode. He just want to get out of here.
mhm,
That could easily as happen as well. Right? Like I was having those feelings, and I'm not even involved in the story. Like going through it, was like
hmm, hmm, hmm.
this. Pehले you see Raman help you, like yeah, this is the right thing to do. Like why would you help? Like what is wrong with Gotham? Like you could really supporting Raman, and then 60 minutes later you're like, maybe you should save yourself. India is a hellhole.
हाँ नहीं मतलब that I get because, and it's also like it makes sense to expect at least one of them to die.
Uh,
But I don't know, maybe like dramatically in like a movie that would have been a little too much, even if it would have
mm,
happened in real life, the story would have been so unbelievable that
mm.
in a film when you watch it, you're like, oh, this is like now it's like stretching
Yeah, you're doing
disbelief.
poetry that, like you must sacrifice yourself to save kid.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. So that's kind of difficult to do, and I think that they threaded that line quite nicely. It's also I like the interplay because it makes dramatic sense, right? To have one person who's like more idealistic and for whatever
Yeah.
reason, life experiences is that.
Mm.
And the other person isn't. He's literally introduced to us like striking a business deal on the phone or something.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Talking about work or something. The movie isn't set in a identifiable place for some reason. I know it's north, but it could have been that could just be a way to avoid the censors.
Also, like, I don't know, it helps it make it like universal for me at least. Like, I don't need.
Kind of. It's one of those blessings in disguise situations. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and as I said, Delhi ka Londa because he behaves like that, but like he's not, he doesn't have to be a Delhi ka Londa, but like, it could be anything. I don't know where they're going.
Yeah, I know, but like I was thinking about this, and the car has a DL number plate, so I mean
Yeah.
that's one clue.
Yeah. And they
It
bring up
also
Manali with like Chumpa, so that's another clue.
yeah, it something like NH10 only, like Delhi, Haryana, something.
Yeah, it's in that like zone, yeah.
Yeah. But I honestly felt that Banerjee was kind of miscast in it.
Mm.
He just doesn't read like the kind of person he's playing on screen. I mean, he's supposedly like, I don't know, it felt like a very like Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Afwah situation, which he was not really the perfectly suited person to play.
Yeah, like what he's
Uh,
commentary the
did
reference,
we
like
see?
he was completely miscast there. Siddiqui to.
Uh,
I semi bought him as the illegal order at least कि like इसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, he just wants to get his
hmm,
way, like क्या तुम टाइम पास कर रहे हो, तुम फंस जाओगे type.
huh.
But I guess yeah, as the movie goes on longer, it's tougher and tougher to then buy him into what he's turning into.
Yeah, because I don't know what the movie is initially presenting him as. Is he supposed to be like this sheltered rich person who has never, gotten his hands dirty?
Yeah,
Or is he
like more
someone
like
who's more,
a rich person like who doesn't like even think of other people, right? Like, and he thinks of other people, he literally thinks of them as a transaction, which is why Raman brings up that thing outside your money, like Japes ke baar socho dialogue.
exactly. So that's my thing, right? Because if they're showing him as like a person who is mostly transactional and doesn't really have his, nose on the ground,
Yeah.
then the street smarts that he has to show in the second half of the movie increasingly,
Yeah.
that feels a little, I mean, you've never, you've paid bribes and all, but you've never really, that's an easy way out, right? You
Yeah.
never really try to solve problems. So when he tries to solve problems and very, very like life and death problems at the end, I'm like, acha, theek hai, ye to nahi hoga real life mein, you know? And there is, police presence also, and the police does form a kind of this thing, but they conveniently kind of disappear when they need to,
Mm.
and then they come back when they have to.
Yeah. Wait,
Um,
there were some moments that I felt like Panditji was turning into like a Deus Ex Machina character.
or the opposite of that, because he was there originally and then he just leaves.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I said that because like he literally intervenes and saves in a way Gotham, right? Like he's about to be lynched. So that moment felt like I was like, this is full like God saving a
Hmm.
machine. I'm like, we कहाँ से आ गया बेचारे एकदम perfect timing.
हाँ,
इसने
देखो
खोल
ये
दिया.
तो बड़ा this is all first film things, right? Because, and not an issue like Dev Patel did just last year, I think, that there is so much we want to say, and the easiest way to get the movie made is like make a genre movie, it's cheaper, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
and we'll do it. But then we don't know that if we're ever going to get a chance again. So let's just, I think
Yeah.
this movie navigated all those issues better than most. Like I felt like it could have very easily become like that sirf ek banda kafi hai type nonsense, which it is not the ideal place for a movie to be. Like that'll immediately earn you
Yeah.
a slap from me.
Yeah.
So
This is like it's thread the line I think quite carefully mostly of showing that this is a systematic issue and this is just like
and
superhero movie.
yeah, it weaves the thing into the plot, right? And it kind of does the thing where a lot of Indian movies don't do, is that you start to question yourself, and it kind of wants you to do that. It doesn't want to like pander to you or be like, nahi, nahi, aap to theek ho, but look at what's happening around you.
Yeah.
No, you're part of the problem, and you're like, you are being put in the shoes of these two characters. What would you do? Would you do the right thing, and there is very clearly a right thing to do, or would you just be like, no, it's not worth it?
Yeah.
Especially with like, so all of that is,
And initial questions like what, how much is worth it? Like how much, where would you stop doing the thing, right? Like it's almost like it's testing your commitment level. Like would you stop
mm,
here? Wait, would you stop here? Wait, would you stop
yeah.
here?
Yeah, and at the end also the last shot is quite nice, where he's like in the hospital and this guy is like on the bed and he's sitting with this look
Yeah.
on his face, right? Like, what did we just do?
Mm.
And the good thing that the movie does in that moment is doesn't make any reference to the wedding that they've likely missed.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then you're saying that this, in a way, it's like it was a diversion.
Yeah, this is a detour.
They've
Like
been,
that's their actual life. They need to get back.
but they've been so altered by this experience that they're no longer thinking about a very important family thing at all,
Yeah.
right? Which makes sense. Which kind of hits home how drastically he has changed as a person. Obviously, the cynical thing to do would be like, back out or whatever, go home. back to normal, whatever. But the movie is not doing that. It's in that way, it's very sincere.
I mean, yeah, it is like there is no shortage of like horrific thing, right? Like, and which is like I think what I like the most about that is that they reveal how complex and complicated like Jhumpa's past is, and like there's layers to it, right? You're like you first you think you understand like this much of it, and you're like, yeah, Ravan is helping, like what a nice guy, like he's doing like this the decent thing, and then like one more layer comes up, and then Raman's like, what the hell, like you've been lying to me, and you also like for a minute are like, what is happening? This is like they stop happening, and maybe like she's like hiding part of the story. And then they reveal that second, third layer on top of it, like, oh, okay, I feel for like Zupa, oh shit, damn, sorry. And then they reveal a layer on top of that. Like, it's all of those layers just show like, I think India's like class divide and the fact that like how class divide turns into this police thing, right? Like when people who are from a so-called upper caste complain, it's like automatically the police are on their side in the case. So like it shows that as well, like how the justice happens. And then which is why when you're seeing like the mob beat up like Gotham, like at
Mm.
obviously you're feeling it terrible about it. What's happening in front of you. But like one part of me, I'm like, this is why in a way like mob justice happens in me, right? Because there is like when people who are from a different socioeconomic background need justice, like actually want to like go to the police and courts, they get nothing. Like they just get like either they get inaction, they get ignored, or they get outright like injustice. Like this is like discriminated against. But obviously like, that doesn't like mean that what they're doing is correct. But you understand why we keep ending up in mob justice in India.
Yeah, because in the mob's mind, what it is doing is the right thing. They are bringing a kidnapper to justice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Uh,
and they believe this is the only way they will get justice. Like they don't think dragging the kidnapper to the police and letting the court do its thing is a good idea. They think that really hamper them, they will get discriminated against and they will fail.
the Raman character knows in the railway station itself that agar wo intervene nahi karega, so the
Yeah.
police is not even going to listen to that woman. I mean,
Yeah.
they were on the verge of like pinning the blame on the woman. Like,
Yeah,
तुम खुद
but it's 60 like half an hour, 40 minutes later he says that ना कि तो sixth kid है और कोई नहीं मिला.
हाँ. And oh, by the way, let's not forget that Abhishek Banerjee's character like murders someone midway through the movie
Yeah.
by mistake, but still.
Yeah, but by mistake because like he can't knows the trap door.
There's a trap door
So trap
convenient.
door is half the fault and he's half the fault, I would say.
As I mean, spoken like Tom Cruise in Collateral. But
Fair enough.
I liked the scenes in which all three of them were in the car together and there was like this discomfort and everything. Because then the movie also is, I mean, Gotham is the main character, so to speak, but then it is also asking us to um, connect equally with his brother and Jhumpa,
Yeah.
which is a nice, like, it's nicely done. It could have been very clumsy.
Yeah.
So most of the time actually watching this movie, I'm like, oh, so you avoided that trap. Oh, you avoided that trap. Well done. Well
Yeah,
done.
like it's very easy to also fall into like the outsider gaze thing here when you're doing it. Like
But
you
there's
just
a
feel like
point to it here, right? Which
yeah.
is what you have to do. Instead of being like Sunny Deol, So,
कि मैं सबको बचाऊंगा तुम बैठो
हाँ,
बस.
हाँ, but इसमें
It's like I like
है
how like active Jhumpa's character is. Like she's in the first 10 minutes, she's told on phone by someone that she's like, stop crying. That's not gonna help. You have to save. No one's going to help you. And that spurs her on. And uske baad, like she's very active. She doesn't wait for these guys. Like they spark anywhere, they're like, we're gonna ask for directions to that asylum place. She's like, okay, you guys take care of that. I'm doing my own quest.
Yeah. So she is not a, passive character at
Yeah.
all. And plus, the reason why this person is the audience surrogate is because the movie wants you to be like, oh, damn, am I also like him?
Yeah.
Uh, which is the only way, I suppose, to get around savior tropes.
Yeah.
If you're questioning the savior himself. I mean, so there is a point in the movie where Abhishek Banerjee's character is like, obviously he's being beaten up by the mob, right? So there is a mob that is actively involved in beating him up. There is also spectators on
Yeah.
left the
For our
rooftops
bystanders. Yeah.
who are not intervening. They're
Yeah.
and the camera is very pointedly like, देखो अब ये भी intervene नहीं कर रहे.
Yeah.
what would have been the right thing to do here, you know? So it Wild West out there, right? Because
Yeah, it's very muddled, right? Like they basically trying to do the right thing, but then this like it's also like in a way commenting on like how rumors spread through like WhatsApp in India, and then bringing that into the story. Like sure, like you're doing the right thing. The problem is that because you have no control over information and you have no like police actually broadcasting anything, right? They're not saying what they're doing. Like they don't broadcast कि हाँ case चल रहा है, ये suspect नहीं है, ये हमारे साथ है. They just like left to defend for themselves कि तुम अपना ध्यान रख लो. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Yeah, and they're fully aware. Like that forest department person also stops them in the middle.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, the in certain like situations and scenarios, people like Gotham have the clear upper hand.
Yeah.
But in an entirely different situation and scenario, which is like 5 kilometers away,
Yeah.
somebody else has the upper hand.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like you said, right? It's like India right now, or maybe India like it's always been, which is people like deeply suspicious, paranoid, insecure, and just inherently lacking decency, you know. Uh, इतना conditioned है to, survive or whatever, or to just not even one up, just to survive, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't
because I
matter.
think इतना injustice है कि because like then it pushes you to survival. You're like, मुझे
Mm.
I'm not going to get anything if I live this
And it
conditioned way.
makes you selfish, right? You're not
Yeah,
thinking about
exactly.
anybody else because you're constantly thinking about how to kato this day.
Yeah,
And that sucks the decency out of a society.
yeah.
And that happens because the systems that are in place are not doing what they should be doing to protect its citizens,
Yeah.
to give
They're
them
the
a,
most vulnerable.
not even the worst one, it's anybody, yeah, like there are privileges, etc. But because people with privilege are also so inherently कि हमारे को bribe देना पड़ेगा, हमारे को ये काम करने के लिए वो करना पड़ेगा, somebody else is going to end up
First reaction, right? Gotham first reaction on the railway station is like, हम फंस जाएंगे.
हाँ,
Like forget like thinking of a person who has potentially lost her daughter. Like she's like, नहीं हम यहाँ खड़े रहेंगे 5 मिनट तो हम फंस जाएंगे.
yeah, the police will like do something and pin you or like keep you. It
Yeah.
happens, right? They're like, you're not going anywhere. And it's mostly like vindictive. कि तूने, why did you speak to us that way? Now you're gonna, now your night is ruined.
Yeah, which is literally what happens. Like when they're beating up that tea stall guy, he tries to save him also. Like Roman, "Hey, isko क्यों तंग कर रहे हो?" Like he said, like investigate. Like he gave you a clue. Let's go and investigate. So like, how dare you? And he just asked him a normal thing. He asked him which thana are you from,
Mm.
and उस पे वो he reacts as if he's asked him like तेरा परदादा का नाम क्या था or something.
Yeah, it's constantly, right? Because when you're like, especially, I don't know what it's like in like Mumbai and stuff. Uh, but here, like you step out of your house and you're constantly on edge because somebody somewhere is going to just get murdered.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an accurate representation of not just like this North India belt, but like what's happening in our country, right? And to do that via like a genre movie is what we kind of want this industry to do. And
It
yeah.
says a lot, right? That this movie's been like around for a while before it got distribution.
But mil gaya finally. I don't know how badly it's butchered. It doesn't feel that jarring.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
might have
You have to
gotten up.
speak to someone who went to the Venice premiere to figure out.
Yeah, like Santosh, I can tell when it eventually or if it does.
I don't think it's going to come.
Yeah.
I've seen it and I was like, I mean, thing is, we are also like so accustomed to like not being able to figure out. Like we saw Tanda, we were like, इसमें कुछ नहीं होने वाला, right? No one thought I was gonna have. So when I watch things, I'm like, yeah, this is fine. And then when they actually was like, oh, okay, ये offenses था क्या? I didn't realize it.
No, but like watching Santosh, you know that, oh, this is not going
Some
to.
things are like, I can tell, but I'm saying the fact that they don't want to release the movie itself, I'm like, इतना भी नहीं. I'm sure you can cut out some stuff, but they are like, no, every scene.
Especially because they've already self-censored, right? It's like some fantasy land.
Yep.
But it's like a little too much, like it rhymes with like Uttar Pradesh or something. But that movie like revolves around this one entire scene, which is impossible to kind of remove if you want that movie to function.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this one is, it builds towards a climax, right? Which is fun. fun. I don't know. Nicely done.
Yeah. Yeah. If only this was our normal week and not an outlier.
Yeah, and it required like 5 heavy hitters to kind of attach their names to it, right?
I guess, yeah, that's how they got distribution.
हाँ
Like, तुम पे नाम चिपका लोगों के who are already in bed with Amazon, then you'll Amazon be like, okay, ठीक है, they are okay putting their name, so we feel safe now.
हाँ, like केस होएगा तो इन पे एक
Yeah. Like, we'll just be like, नहीं, उनको भी साथ में allow. So then case will be people of India versus Amazon, Motwane, Kashyap, blah, 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 blah.
and for some reason Nikhil Advani, he's like, what? I wait, kal ho na ho.
I love how like he's developed this like dual arc in like 5-6 years. He will make like some John Abraham kachara where he'll basically be like doing full Indian jingoism.
The opposite of this, basically.
Yeah, and then he'll do
Where
the
the cop
opposite.
is like doing actual lynching.
Yeah. So he'll make that also, and he'll make this stuff also. He'll make others like Rocket Boys and Freedom of Midnight. I'm like, भाई, you're an equal opportunity offender now. Okay, like जिस audience को जो चाहिए उनको serve करो. I don't care. Like full producer vibes.
हाँ, अरे मतलब it's Bollywood in a nutshell. Nikhil
Yeah,
Advani.
yeah. But ठीक है, better than the people who are only doing one side, no?
I mean, yes.
That comparatively he's better. You part too clear in the industry. That's all for this episode of The Long Take. You can follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and YouTube at The Long Take Pod. You can write to us at thelongtakepod@gmail.com. Please leave us a rating and a review if you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.